Okay, let's just dive right in. A lot of leaders look at digital transformation and they see a future cost, something they'll get to eventually. But what if the real expense is what you're losing every single day you wait? In this explainer, we're going to figure out how you can know if your business is truly ready for intelligent transformation. That means using data and AI to really change how you operate, all before you spend a single penny. So let's start with a really direct question. Just think about your day-to-day operations for a second. Are those slow decisions, the endless manual tasks, the data that's all over the place, are they actually hurting your bottom line? If you've got that gut feeling that the answer is yes, well, you're definitely in the right place. Because here's the hard truth, right? The cost of not transforming, that's not some problem for the future. It's a current expense. It's showing up right now in lost deals, in customers leaving, and in just countless wasted hours. You're already paying for it, whether you realize it or not. So first up, let's really tackle this idea of waiting for the perfect time. The reality is the clock is ticking and every delay comes with a very, very real price tag. And these costs, they're not abstract. They're tangible. While you might be stuck doing things by hand, your competitors are automating and just getting faster. When the market shifts, and it always does, their agility lets them pivot while you're still trying to figure out what happened. And your clients, they don't have patience for slow systems. They just take their business somewhere else. This is exactly why we need to completely reframe what a readiness assessment even is. It's not some boring preliminary tech checkbox. Think of it as a crucial business exercise. Its entire purpose is to protect the revenue you're already at risk of losing. Okay, so what does being ready actually mean? Because there are some huge myths out there, some real misconceptions about what it takes to get started with this kind of transformation. Let's just bust some of these myths right now. So many people think you need perfect conditions, flawless data, a brand new state-of-the-art tech stack, a whole team of AI wizards. But the reality, it's much simpler, and it's all about the business. What you really need is a leader who owns the outcome, a very clearly defined business problem you're trying to solve, and crucially, a real willingness to measure your progress. If you've got those three things, you're ready to start. So how can you tell if you have those kinds of problems? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Here are 7 crystal clear signs that you're not just ready for a change, but that you're actively leaving money on the table by waiting. First sign. What does this mean? It means your leadership is making these huge, critical decisions based on what happened last month or even last quarter. It's all static, historical reports. Intelligent transformation is all about shifting to live, predictive insights so you can act on what's happening now, not what's already in the past. Number 2, I want you to think about your most valuable, most expensive employees. If your senior people are getting bogged down in spreadsheets all day, if your managers are spending all their time just chasing approvals, that's not just a workflow issue, that's a margin problem. You're paying your top talent to do low-value work, and that's a direct hit to your profitability. All right, number 3. Look, in today's market, customer experience is pretty much everything. If your teams can't solve an issue or create a personalized offer without going through a long chain of manual steps, you're losing. It's that simple. Slow response times equal lost revenue. End of story. Number 4. And be honest. If you can't answer this question with actual data, if the answer is just a gut feeling or an anecdote from a sales meeting, that is a massive red flag. It means you just don't have the data infrastructure to really understand why customers leave. And you can't fix what you can't even see. Coming in at number 5. Does this sound familiar? Every time a new need pops up, the solution is just to bolt on another tool, another piece of software. The result is this messy, fragmented system that actually slows you down and seriously increases risk. Being ready means being willing to consolidate around outcomes instead of just collecting more and more tools. Sign number 6. If your competitors are always beating you to market with new stuff, or they're reacting to trends before you've even scheduled the meeting to talk about it, the gap probably isn't your strategy, it's your agility. The problem is buried in your data and your processes. And finally, the 7th and final sign. Oh man, this is one of the clearest signals of them all. If your revenue is climbing, but your profit margins are shrinking, it's a sure sign that your operational infrastructure hasn't scaled with your business. You're just adding costs as fast or maybe even faster than you're adding revenue. Okay, so if any of those 7 signs just hit a little too close to home, what do you do next?
Well, the good news is this doesn't have to be some huge 6-month consulting project. Here's a clear, actionable plan your team could literally start tomorrow.
Here's a simple 4-week framework. Week 1, map the revenue leaks. Get specific. Pinpoint the exact processes that are costing you money and time. Week 2, audit your data landscape. You gotta know where your critical information actually lives. Is it easy to get to, or is it locked away in 1,000 different spreadsheets and email chains? Week 3, and this one is so important. Define the business outcome you want, not the technology you think you need. Focus on the what, not the how. And finally, week 4. Get real about your constraints. Be totally honest about your budget, your timeline, and the skills you actually have on your team.
So as we wrap this up, I want to come back to the most important point of all. The cost of doing nothing is real, and believe me, it's growing every single quarter.
I mean, that really says it all, doesn't it? The market isn't going to hit pause for you to get your house in order. Getting ready doesn't get any easier with time. The gap between you and your competition just gets wider. So let me just leave you with this final thought. Intelligent transformation isn't some blind leap into the unknown. It should be a structured journey starting from where your business is today to where it has the potential to be. And that journey always begins with a clear-eyed, honest assessment of where you stand right now. So the real question is, what is that clarity worth to your business?